Today we are kicking off the fun fall sew along, okay? And with that, I'm going to start with the Pat Sloan quilt. I'm going to be sewing unit A and unit B. So unit A will look like this. So this is the color that I have chosen, the gold and the gray and the yellow. And then this is unit B that I have chosen to do. I know the threads are kind of hanging. I'll trim it later on. So, but the actual quilt will look something like this. So this is my A. You see the yellow kind of popping out right there. And then this is my B, and then the dark orange is also making appearance as well. I wanted to like just inspire you to use what you have. This quilt is 100% batiks, and I don't have batik fabric, but I have what kind of looks like it in my stash, and that is what I'm using. So I would love for you guys to comment down below and let me know if you have this magazine and if you're sewing the Pat Sloan quilt as well. So I'm going to be showing you how I'm sewing the 9 patch. Even though it is the easiest quilt block to make, it's also time consuming as well. But I'm going to show you how I do mine to make me sane, so I don't go crazy sewing teeny tiny squares, okay? And I also want you to comment down below and let me know if this was an easier way for you to do it, or if you rather cut squares and sew them 9 times. I am going to do mine in strip. Okay, so I've cut out strip. So this is the way mine looks like right here. Okay, so instead of cutting squares and then doing the 9 patch while you're doing that, things may not align the way you want them to be as a beginner. I've cut mine in a strip like this. So it asks, for example, if it asks for like 1.5 inch square, I have cut that strip. The instruction is the specific length of what this is supposed to be. It's already in the instruction. So I've cut them, okay? And I'm going to sew it in strip. So once I've sewn all 3 of them in strip, then I will cut it to what it's supposed to be to make that 9 patch. The same thing here. For segment A, mine looks like this. So this strip right here, it's right here. And this strip right here is right here. So I've cut them. So I'm going to sew it the way I am going to make it faster for me. And hopefully this will help you too in your sewing room. If not with this particular quilt, with whatever, if you need to make a 9 patch, for example, if you're making 4.5 inches and they want you to cut, and the pattern said cut 4.5 inch square to sew together, and then why cutting 4.5 inch square when you can cut 4.5 strip, 4.5 strip, 4.5 strip, and then sew them together and then cut it 4.5 across to get your square. So that way you're not having to match every single point. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I think you get it. But you know what? Let me sew this so you can really see what I'm talking about, okay? So let's sew this block. I have my first set of strip right here that I'm going to use to make this unit A. This is unit A we're making first. All right, and then these are the fabric that I've chosen to make unit A. So this is what I've chosen for my dark yellow and light yellow and the gray. I'm going to make that, and then we're going to sew it, okay? Okay, so for this, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to finger press them open for now. And then when I'm getting ready to cut my section, then I will give it a little heat and I'll flatten it out. But I'm going to finger press it open for now to give it a little bit of a shape. So the first segment is completed. What I'm going to do now is sew the middle part together. I'm going to put that on the side. For this, I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the first one. So this part right here will be the one that will be going in the middle right here, okay? Okay. So I'm going to sew the next piece on. So same thing I'm doing here. I'm going to just finger press it open. Finger press this part open as well. So what I'm doing now is taking both of my segment, I'm going to take it and I'm going to press them open. Then I will bring it back and then I will cut and then we'll assemble it. Okay. Okay. So first strip, second strip. So now what I'm going to do is cut it the exact way that they want us to do it. So I'm going to cut my first one. So here's my piece right here. So first thing I'm going to do is take my ruler, straighten my numbers up from the top and the bottom, is just kind of clean out the edges so it doesn't look wonky. And then so what I'm going to do is cut to what size they want this to be. And then I'm going to just cut like that. So that's my first one. And I'm going to cut another one like that. So what I'm going to do now is finish cutting this piece right here, and I'll meet you here, and then I will also cut this one as well. Okay. When you're cutting your strip, make sure that your line is lined up with your seam. So for example, right here, I'm going to cut 4.5 inch wide. So I'm going to make sure that my line is lined up with my seam right here. So that way I am sure that this is cut straight. My line on my ruler is lined up with my seam, and then you come to the bottom here, and then my line on my ruler is also lined up with my seam. So that's how you make sure that when you're cutting your segment, you're cutting it straight. Okay. With this part right here, what we're doing is we're going to leave, these are the middle piece. So what I'm going to do is take this from here. Since it's supposed to be flipped, I'm going to flip my yellow. Our yellow is going to be on the left side, and on the bottom here, our yellow is going to be on the right side. And with this one, it's kind of making like, see how our gray is kind like making a cross on the 9 patch. It's a 9 patch. It's easy. Doing it this way is much, much easier. Sewing a strip. So all you're doing now after cutting that strip is just sit here and do a chain piece. Just chain piece. Make sure that this is put together like this, and just seam our meeting. And on this one, I'm not going to pin. I'm just going to hold it together. I'm going to sew this, I'm going to put my seam together, hold on to it, and sew. So here's my first segment, and I'm pressing open. I'm just going to finger press open for now, and then I'll give it a little heat in a little bit. So we have a 9 patch. For now, this is unit A. I'm going to finish it, and then I'll go on ahead and move on to unit B. Okay. My first segment, which is unit A. So these are all my unit A, all done right here. Okay, so I'm going to put them right there, and then now we're going to do unit B. For unit B, we are going to take the dark orange, and then we're going to take the yellow and the gray. So what I have chosen for my colors are this right here. So I've chosen for my dark orange, it's like a grunge. I'm not sure if you can see it really good there. It's like a dark grunge moto orange. So I think that goes well with the darker orange for me. And then the gray, it's a little bit dark, and then the yellow. Like for this quilt, everything was batiks. Like I said at the introduction, I don't have any batiks, so, and I'm not going to go out and buy anything new. So I'm using my stash for this. So since I don't have any batiks, and the dark orange that I have is this right here, so I have improvised. For my unit B, we are going to cut the same thing. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to stack it up. This is how you will know that your lines are straight. So I'm going to stack them up like this. Okay, make sure that my seam are on top of each other, okay? And I'm going to cut them. I've stacked it on top of each other. I'm gonna put my ruler, bring my ruler in, hold it down tight, put my ruler line going on the seam on the top, my ruler line going on the seam on the bottom, and I'm going to cut like that. So I got them both at the same time, like that. And I'm going to do it again, okay? Not moving, not doing anything. Make sure everything is together and cut. I got two of them, exact same size. And then I have one last one right here. So I'm just going to, that's how you make it faster. So with this one, we're going to assemble it the exact same way. So this is my first strip and then the second strip, okay? So what we're doing on this one, we're going to do exact same thing that we did for unit A. So this is unit B, so we're going to take half, some of this, like half. We're going to put it like this, and we're going to flip this like that. So you have your gray, whatever color you've chosen, it's going to be like this, kind of like the T situation, and then your orange is going to go like this. So it has to be the same color going this way. The next thing we're going to do is just piece this together and get a 9 patch, and I will do that and I'll meet you back here, okay? And so this is what we have right here. This is my dark orange going this way, and this is my yellow on the corner. So just make sure that your placement is correct. Unit A and Unit B are sewn exact same way, but when we go and assemble all like Unit A, B, C, D, and F, it's going to be orientated differently. So you need to make sure that you put everything together the right way from the beginning, so that way you don't get to the end and then you don't know which unit is which or whatever. And also what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to label my unit A and I'm going to label my unit B, so that way I don't get confused at the end. And I will go through that and then we will go from there. So what I'm going to do now is strip piece this two together, and then I'll come back and do the last part. This is just, I'm just going to just chain piece it to make things a little faster, and I'll meet you back here. So this is just a different way that I'm showing you. It's a 9 patch. There is absolutely nothing to it, but just making it faster is what I'm doing. So now what I'm going to do is sew on this last piece. I want to make sure it's facing the right direction. And so what I'm doing is just piecing this right here to this, and then 9 patch is completely done. So I have my stack of Unit B all completed. So what I'm going to do now is give it a little heat, and I will be right back. So here we are. I've completed the whole entire Unit A, and I completed the entire stack of Unit B. I hope you're sewing along with me. I have completed Unit A and I've completed Unit B. If this has helped, like the way I've done it, please comment down below. Also comment down below so other people can read the comment and then we can learn from each other. I just thought it's a 9 patch. It is the easiest block to make, and I wanted to just kind of make it faster because we have to sew quite a bit of these, and I wanted to find a faster way of doing it. And I thought I'd show you as well. I appreciate your comment. Please let me know down below if this was helpful or not. And also comment down below if you have another method of sewing a 9 patch as well. Thank you so much for visiting with me today. I completed Unit A and I completed Unit B. Please feel free to comment down below and let me know what you think about these blocks, and then let me know if you're sewing along. And like I always said, I would love to see you in my next video. Bye.